it again just to be really, really sure that this worked. Because it'll look funny if it doesn't. Action. Wait a minute. Cut. It's gonna look like this. He's drunk. He couldn't handle his liquor. Oh, God, no. I had a little too much of that red stuff mixed with that other shit last night. Oh, God. Okay. Speaking of Decepticons, Pounce, you have assumed the position for sex. What, Cyclonus? Uh-oh. What are you doing? Like I don't know what you're doing. I can't tell. My ass. Just kidding. That's what he's really there for. Yeah, bitch. We're finally rid of them. We should chuckle about this weird exchange. Yes. The quintessons will only well, screw up my line. Action. Action. We should chuckle about this amusing exchange. Yes. The Omicrons will only confuse them. Long enough for the quintessons to come and destroy them. And they'll be out of our hair. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Set up Ricky here. That ought to work. You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna be like that senator guy, and he's gonna go in that bathroom over there, and then Max is gonna go in there with him, and then he's gonna grab his ankle and then like exploit him for sex. Yeah, just kidding. It's not gonna happen. No, it's not. That would be the other way around. Ha ha ha! Bukaki. So, anyway, we got the pencil way down there, so you won't get it in the shot. From doing. I am Galvatron. What? You don't recognize your old leader? You sound like Galvatron. Either you're insane or Galvatron's spark has actually possessed you. You're a bright one. Thundercracker. Way it's filmed. What? You don't recognize your leader? Oh. That's weird. You sound like Galvatron. Either you're crazy or Galvatron's spark has actually possessed you. Yeah. That bigger guy, just because I thought, well, if Galvatron possessed him, his spark would probably turn him into a bigger robot. Just for the duration of him going to the Unicron and doing the other thing. But here's an alternate scene with him as Thrust, and he's just being Galvatron. Which I don't think is as impactful, but here it is. Thrust will be transformed back to his former self when I get my body back. And to get it, I must find Unicron. Fortunately, there happens to be a time-trapped one out there. I'll need a ship to get to it. Triple coverage. Action. The Decepticons are slagged without Galvatron. Yeah, but he had personality. Shit. That's the other line. Action. I think the second one worked anyway. Action. Let's show him again. Couldn't we give him some energy, you know, for old time's sake? No. This pale imitation of Unicron is but a vessel. And I intend to go through that doorway and find out the wizard's in charge. Makes sense. Howdy, partner. Are you ready for a little buggering? Do you feel lucky? I do. Oh, shit. It's not really what I was going to say, but just had to do that. Action. Cut. Ah, yes. Did you really think that Galvatron would be dead? I mean, come on. We're not gonna kill him off for very long in the movie. Ha ha. He had more lines in the last movie than in the other one. Yeah. So, anyway, this pipsqueak behind me gets more lines than I do in this movie. Darn it. Well, shit. You know, I do play a mean game. Texas Hold'em, you know. Kiss me. I mean, I've got these big robo-boobs. Robo-boobs. Oh. Sodomite. Action. But first, to the quintessence. For failure is... Fuck, what was that? What was that shit? I'm getting paid measly amounts to hear shit in the background going off. And things dropping like lens caps and shit. Damn it! And you'll know that after 20 years or so, I can't even have PMS, so I can't use that as an excuse. Well, really, I'm not the original Baroness, I mean, obviously. But you know what I mean. Anyway, okay, action. Cut. One of those takes worked around. Spank my ass, for failure is not an option. Psh, psh, psh. Cobra! Oh, psh, 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 psh. Hell, how else am I going to get the cameo in this? Go back to fixing my motorcycle now. I just wish that I could get down to business, you know, like in that movie, The Private Idaho. Yes, getting down to business. Necrophilia. I'm making fun of that scene in My Private Idaho in which they were gay guys having sex, but you couldn't tell. It was just like random shots of arms and legs going, and somebody putting nipple clamps on someone's ass. And when I have a nipple clamp, I do have this. It's really, really stupid, kind of. Except that it was auto cure. Cut. Let me point out that in the background, it looks like, from that angle, those two were apparently getting frisky. And he fell over. I think we got a good take there. Yes, he's fallen down on the job, the dear boy. Oh, bastard. Maybe he needs a cup of whiskey or something. Fuck. Just wanted to say that. Action. We assumed most of the computers were destroyed within the robots. The blast left no survivors. We assumed that most of the computers were like the things you... Yes. We assumed that most of the computers were destroyed within the rebels. The fuck? The robots. The robots. Cut. Doesn't she look like Lindsay Lohan a little bit? Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan in Lindsay Fully Loaded. Oh God! I had way too much of the good stuff. What a party! Oh my God! I drove all kinds of places afterward. Oh God! And what's that big giant robot? I must be really drunk. Oh. Save my Jones for Davy Bones. What? Yeah. Okay, action. Back to the movie. Action. For once, I agree with you. Let's move out. For once... Where did they go? Well, this explains at least that they went. So, just assume, well, they're trying to look for Cobra now, and, you know, we weren't privy to that information. Yep. And what's funny is, back there appears to be a crocodile eating Lisa Hayes' face. Who did that? And then there's the other guy appears to be trying to like manhandle that other character. What's he doing? All right, you collapsed platters. What the fuck am I saying? All right, you gelatinous butt lover. Now drop and give me 20. No better yet. Wait a minute. Oh, you gelatinous butt fuck. Assholes and elbows, let's go! Yo, Joe! Excellent, men! You've all bent over and assumed the position. Well then, give me 20. Ooh, a smorgasbord! This part has been censored by the Motion Picture Association of America. This footage is too graphic for young children. You know what? What the fuck am I doing in this movie, man? I mean, look at me, man. I'm dressed like a freaking Eskimo or something. With a bandillero. It's like, what the heck am I supposed to be? Like, man. I'm not necessarily gay or anything, but what's with these, like, funky looking alien heads on that I got for a keychain, man? I've been, like, hunting alien heads. Like, fucking crazy or something, man. Shit. Ooh, a smorgasbord. Right on. G.I. Joe. The real American orgy. The never-ending orgy. Oh. I am Boatbot. I am Boatbot. Kind of sounds like Airflight, though. How about it make him sound a little less snotty? Sort of like sad, kind of. I'm Boatbot. Okay, that works. Action. I'm Boatbot. I'm Boatbot. I am Boatbot. And we must test his mettle in battle. Carter forces attack. This guy up because he sucks so bad. Yeah, I suck a lot. Well, anyway, my face is screwed up, so you gotta reanimate me anyway. But anyways, let's go with the scene. Action. Both. I intend to find Dendra and ask him about something. Alright, it's recording. Yay. Come on. Come on. Come on. Action. Both. I tend to find Dendra to ask him about something. He's one of those. Yeah, a guy named Onslaught came in here a couple clicks ago. Left with a guy named Dendra. They can't be far. Well, excellent. I will have to find them. Cut. That was actually the best one. Where the part where Cyclonus shoots the guy, he shoots him into the bar. That doesn't make any sense. So all I want is a shot of Cyclonus leering at the bouncer. And then we'll film the bouncer later. And him shooting at the bouncer. And then him going, then the guy in the background reacting to it. So we're not actually going to get him shooting him because that's post-production. We're going to get him leering. Bang noise. Okay. Beefcake. Because it's always funny, you know. The homophobic characters.
It's not homophobic, it's homoerotic.
Homoerotic, that's it. Yeah.
Interesting, the camera can't actually handle the focus. Ah, there it is. Here we go. We're having a superhero cameo in this movie.
Batman and Robin.
This is the storyboard for what will become the centerpiece scene.
Oh, Batman. I love you, Robin. I'll do the Adam West voice. I love you, Robin. Come here. Oh, come on now. Oh.
Holy anal penetration, Batman.
Oh, yes. Oh. Kiss me. Oh. Oh. You're a really good kisser, Robin. That's so cold.
We didn't even start yet, and the set's already falling down. My God. Well, we were...
The bloopers are much funnier when we're together. I don't know
why. Let's see if we can't stand this bad fucker up so that it's...
Yeah.
The light rail Macon. So this is how we do the magic here. Set decoration. Clonk.
That was on purpose, but
well, funny. Sort of. So yeah.
I love you.
This is better than industrial
sax. And now, yes, this is going to be better than Britney Spears' performance at the MTV Music Awards.
That would be like,
and everybody's dancing this way, but she's going that way.
Give me more. Give
me more what?
More.
She was drunk. Stoned or something.
Yeah. You could have my body, you know.
That's good, I think. I think it worked.
Cool. You think we should do one more just for extra coverage? Because
yeah.
We've learned
yeah.
Whenever we think it's awesome and perfect,
we watch it and go,
we watch it and go, ugh.
No.
Okay, so triple coverage, action. The quintessons are on trust, like fucking Australian accent. It's really hard to do. And you're saying a word like quintesson, which isn't even a real word. You're trying to
My
imagine like
finisher.
how the Croc Hunter would say it. Like,
Crikey.
oh, crikey, look at the size of this Quintesson.
There you go.
Action. The Quintessons are untrustworthy, ma'am. I think he was getting aroused.
Maybe he is.
Cobra. Cobra. Oh, God. Cobra. Cobra Commander. Ah,
Is that good, or do you like the chuckling louder?
It's okay with me.
Yeah, I think that works. Because he's kind of psycho anyway.
Yeah.
He's really fucked up looking. So. He is a copy of another guy.
This reminds me of those G.I. Joe PSAs, you know, just say no to crack.
Just say no to me.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, yeah. Now, here's an opportunity I can't pass up. Oh, God, take it. You know you like it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dink 'em.
Yeah, you got stuck in the water.
He's been disarmed.
I've been dishanded. I've been handed my resignation. They took it with them. Oh, damn it.
Now, you realize what you can do with this guy now. Bend her over.
I'm gonna screw you with my arm stump. Oh, yeah.
Talk about fisting.
Oh, gee, this guy isn't a racial stereotype. Me, Captain Buffalo Master. Whoa.
You want 'em wampum for white man's hooch?
You want a me for a soldier?
Keep eating your hand, you're not going to be hungry for lunch.
Don't I look like that Cardassian dude from Deep Space Nine?
You kind of look like a gay biker.
So does this guy. Anyway, let's do the scene.
Almost ready. What's going on here? Is you a Republican senator? Okay, this is Roadblock's line. And you'll notice he's manfully straddling the motorbike while holding a big phallic gun. Nothing Freudian about this character at all. Alright.
My name is Roadcock.
Exactly. We're rolling. Action. What are you doing over there? I like what I'm seeing.
Without me.
I like to watch. Okay. Roadblocks. Next line talking to Admiral Fairborn. Action. What about the Decepticons? What about this getting stuck in my throat? That's a little Duke left over from breakfast. Yeah, but what about robots? I love them.
Okay.
Okay, and then he's got one more line of
Going back
dialogue.
into the valley is a bad idea. Can it, shipwreck? He's pointing his gun at him when he says, can it, shipwreck? That'd be funny.
Cool.
Because the general points his gun at Fairborn, and then Fairborn points her sword thing at him. They're like, damn it!
Cool. Alright, we're going to do his next line of dialogue. And action. One of those two ought to wake. You ever noticed that I look like Mr. Gordon from Sesame Street?
There's reason for that.
Yep. Okay, this is Roadblock's response to Shipwreck. He's going to shoot him.
Sort of.
And action. Can it, Shipwreck? Is this where you wanted to go, Thrust? It looked like a pulsating erection bobbing in the air. Is this where you want to go?
Ew, yeah, it does look... He's an extreme close-up. Well, it's cool, though.
The thing is, if we want him not to be that extreme of a close-up, we can film him like this.
What you talking about? 2 alien blasts hit this place, both using the fusion plasma weapon. One hit in a master weapon, the other hit in 2011, left on radiation.
Talk dirty to me in my own voice.
Ew, it's funny that...
Oh, yeah.
This originally was the intro... This was originally the intro to the Carta, and it's like done.
It did kind of mutate my cock a little bit, though.
I like that.
Made it big. Needed even like maybe another 8 inches.
Think that's good? I think that's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's do the next one.
Ooh, then we can cut to the really brief bartender scene in and out. And probably that's the rest of the tape. It turns you...
Okay, and action.
Oh no! I can do Shipwreck's voice too if you want. Just to give it context.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be funny.
He might be here, but it will cost you to tell me my line again. I can't believe I don't know this one.
Okay, I think I got the line this time. We're rolling. Psst. Hopefully the first good take of this line. Oh, no! Fuck! Oh, God!
The bouncer's been drinking. Hope you got it on film.
Actually, wait. Put your arm down, you fuck. Ah!
Don't do that!
Stay up, you fuck! Okay. The bouncer's been having a 6 martini lunch.
Martini's nothing. I was having tequila. From Earth.
Okay. Quiet on the set. We're rolling. Action. Cut. All right. We're rolling. Action. Autobots. Fuck that. Just fuck it. I can't believe I had 4 words. 4 in this stupid line, and I blew it. I just fucked it up. Let's try that again. Still rolling. Action. Autobots. Like Rodimus Prime? Walked right into his fist, didn't you? You dumb fuck. Let me try that again.
Did it work?
I think so, but I think I can do it better. Fuck me. Alright, let's try that again.
Fuck me if you dare.
Fuck me if you dare. Alright, we are gonna do this. Take 3 and action. Don't even think you could see my hand.
Really?
Excellent. Amazing.
Maybe we should watch it now and see what you can see my
Well, I'm gonna do it one more time because just because I think you can't see my hand doesn't mean you can't. Alright, and this is triple coverage. Action. No, go ahead and shoot. Yeah, you know what I like. Alright.
Because in the other shot, when Cyclonus walks away, and he's on his way out, in order for that to match what I filmed before, in order for the other scene to match this, the bouncer would have had to follow Cyclonus into the bar.
Okay, death of the bouncer scene. Take 1. Action. Hold on. He's drunk. He's been having some fun back. Okay, don't shake my chair. Action. Cut. That was the best one. Alright, Masochistic Prime's response. And action. Media coverage of a human execution by what appears to be an Autobot. That laugh sucked. Let me try that again. It just sounds like he's chuckling like a little elf.
That'd be funny. I'm the leprechaun from Leprechaun 2 in the Leprechaun in the Hood. Oh my god, Leprechaun in the Hood.
I fucking saw that.
Oh shit.
That movie sucked. But it did have that guy who would go on to play Travis on...
he was also in a porn.
Yeah, well, softcore, but yeah. Okay, let's get Masochistic Prime in the can. Psh. Action.
Are we ready to do 6 shots line?
We are. 6 shots gonna do some lines. And action. Do I look like I'm planning on surrendering?
Okay, let's do a surrender line again.
Alright. Take 2. Action. Do I look like I plan on surrendering? Because I might. Kind of a wuss.
Like I said, he's a bitch.
Okay, so we got 2 lines of dialogue here. Ultra Magnus talking to Cup. Well, or Cup responding to Ultra Magnus. Take 1. Action.
Oh yeah? Whatever gave you that idea?
Okay, well that one didn't work because Cup went all out of focus.
Shit. God damn it.
Bitch. Oh, fuck.
I'm going senile too.
Losing all
Robo
my
depends. My robo. Oh yeah? Oh,
damn. Okay, Hot Rod's dialogue. Take 1. Action.
well, at least we were able to rebuild Optimus Prime from the spare body, and we used his spark to revive him.
Okay, that time I think we can actually hear the music from downstairs, and it sounds like circus music. Okay, they're very happy that Optimus is back. They're throwing a siesta or something. Okay. Ew.
Ew.
Okay. You ever wonder what these little decals on me are for? They don't really do anything. It's like, what, am I supposed to be able to see them? They're under my chin. Red, yellow, green. I'm a stoplight. Okay, we're gonna be a little
that has to be done. That probably has to be done in CGI. There's no way we can show that.
Yeah, not without an extra 6 pairs of hands. But we're gonna try a dramatic camera swoop on Optimus when he says Autobots attack. That's his line. And action.
Take 3, May 20th, continuing on the full day of filming, shooting here on the set, and not an end in sight. We're going to have to do scene pickups on the Autobots leaving the base here. Well, actually addressing the dead Ultra Magnus there. And Hot Rod's chest piece is sticking out in the shot. And also it isn't quite right. So here it is again. Oh no. What a mess. Yes. What do we do now, Prime? Quickly, Cup, Hot Rod, gather up the bodies. We'll put them in the back. And start the base up again. You filthy things. The creature. I see animals in the zoo. And I get excited by them. And I see them there in the zoo, just, you know, being animals and stuff. And I think, why can't I create this? Why can't I do life? But Baron, what are you talking about? You're too young to understand that. I will show you. Yes. Oh, yes. Baron, what are you doing? What are you looking at, you filthy creature? To no death. You have to take life in the gallbladder. Gallbladder and kidneys. Oh shit. It's the Flesh for Frankenstein movie. Reenacted by Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus. Do I get paid extra commission for this? He's kind of cute though. Okay, this is a wee bit later as the sun sets on our first full day of filming. Picture. Now what are we gonna do for fun? Stare each other? Yeah, fuck. Yes, that's what we're gonna fuck to. Action. I warned you. I'm gonna shoot. Oh. Oh, pain. Yeah. Ooh. He fell the wrong way. He's like, ooh, yes. The strangest villain in Transformer history. Masochistic Prime. The inspiration for the Black Scourge in Car Robot. He was Car Robot Scourge early. Action. 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 Try it again. I think it was good, but let's do it again. Action. Cut.
It's still coming out. 2 Autobots, 1 cup.
Wang. 1 barrel.
1 bucket. Can I have some apple juice? I want apple juice. Not apple juice. Have my apple juice. Yeah, asshole.
Get off my plane, you fucking retard! Fire!
Poopy.
I'm poopy in my pants.
Rick Hunter's helmet, actually.
Captain Tard of the very special Space Forces. Okay, so this is scene 20 on the flight deck. We got the Robotech guys. They're in their battleoids. In this scene, Max Sterling and Somono are having a conversation, presumably over their intercoms. And first line belongs to Max Sterling, so let's get that in the can. And action. Be very careful going down the stairs.
Thick Mexican.
Well, no. So we're gonna make this guy a vato.
A little ethnic.
A little ethnic. Yeah, that won't get us in trouble with anybody. So he's gonna make him black. See? No.
Barack Obama. President Obama.
By the time this movie comes out, he may very well be president. Or not. We don't know. Anyway. So this is Somono. Yes, a little porn on the set happening behind the scenes here that you can't see. But Somono can. And he likes it, man.
Maybe we should make him sound Asian.
Asian. I make one fire.
Not really, really thick. It's just sort of foreign, I guess.
Foreign. Let me work on that. Okay.
I was raised in England.
He may be a vato, but he's British.
Somono, he's probably Japanese.
Somono. British Japanese.
Raised in the Highlands.
Alright, so this is Somono's line in response to Sterling. And action. I make out one flyer heading for us. I say, the cheek of it all.
I say. Oh, that's fine. It's funny.
Mr. Sterling, what a smashing name, I must say. It was a kid have a bit of high tea afterward, though. And perhaps a little kissy-wissy. Alright, we're going to do Simona's line again. And action. Oh, pardon me. Yes, take two. Action. Quiet on the set. Action. I make out one flyer heading for us.
Oh no!
We're still rolling? Oh, man. This light is killing me.
Need some water?
No, I think I'm cool. I'm going to have an otter pop in a few minutes. Okay, Simono's line, take three, action. I make out. Can you see the sly, sideways glance I'm giving you, Captain? It means I want you. Oh no, oh Captain! What did you think of that one, Captain? Well, I may have a better one for you. I've been eating Texas chili. Cut. One more time. Action. I have never had Sabaton meat, but in the Mediterranean, and it currently is indeed one of them.
Give me my Oscar.
Give me my Oscar because I know what love is. Okay, so this is scene 21 after Jetfire lands next to them and transforms into a robot. And I'll just film this a little different. Well, our ship was stranded in 2009, but we folded space and thought we escaped back to our dimension. Only we didn't. We ended up in the future, the 24th century. Then we fled from there to 2011. But it wasn't our time, it was yours. So again, we folded space. And now it's 2012 in your dimension. We must still get... I was doing...
At least two.
I don't believe that for a second. Trust me.
How much tape left?
17 minutes. Plenty. I'd rather do this right than have to go back and do it again. Action. Our ship was stranded. Yeah. I'm shitting out.
Cut. looming down on you. Prime. It doesn't matter. When I am judge and executioner, I should have never sent for others to kill you like Starscream. If you want something right, you do it. And your overdeveloped sense of honor will not save you from screwing up your line. Guess. It doesn't matter when I am judge and executioner. I should never have sent for others to kill you. Like Starscream. If you want something done right, you do it. Your overdeveloped sense of honor will not save you this time.
Let's do 6 shot first. Okay. Too much gloss on the sky. Whoa. What's going on there? I don't want that glare on this.
Hey Megatron, who gives me an idea because there's no one here but the human. I love you. Oh, my darling 6-shot cling. I love you as well. Actually, probably. Oh. Uh-oh. Cling, 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 cling. Take this, you bitch. Loosened you up with my gun. Now, prepare to take the mighty Megatron in you. Oh no, Commander. Oh God, it feels better than Optimus Prime. You've been cheating on me with Prime? Yeah. And no Optimus Primes were actually hurt in the making of this prior scene. There he is. Anyway. Yeah. Now there's 18 minutes on here. Okay, stop. This is radio station KATS, Milpitas, San Jose. And it's June the 2nd, 2008. And these are pickup lines for the footage that was filmed 2 days ago. Discovered an interesting error in the remaining ones. The flashing light was echoing off of this backdrop. This is supposed to be the sky. So there shouldn't be any light reflecting off of it. It's the sky. So, yeah. And also, if these guys are facing Prime like that, when they're actually watching him burn. Now, they could have moved around before they turned on the burner. But they have to be watching the burner. They would be turned around. They would be here. And here, visually. Because they would be watching Prime the other way. So the scene that we're going to shoot is actually them facing the burning Prime. They have conceivably moved over to watch it like this. So that Megatron and 6-shot are like it. And there's a little bit of a flaw in the wall back there. But 6-shot is going to cover it up. I'm going to come in close. We're not going to see the whole wall anyway. We're just going to see them. We're going to see them do their lines. And Mark's cards will dub in the lines later. 16 minutes of footage, I think we can pull this off on this one tape. And it'll all be on one tape. So let's do it. Tech. Dark Catharsis. January. This is Trans Tech. Let's start over again. This is radio station KATS Milpitas, San Jose. And this is Trans Tech 3, tape 15, Dark Catharsis. We go over scene 33 once again. Well, the part where the guy actually burns Prime. And 6 shots, reshots didn't work. There were set pieces in the background. So we've thrown in the wall, which is kind of in the earlier one anyway, and turned the space set so that the flaw is up there somewhere where we can't see it. Now, I'm gonna reshoot this footage so that they later John can dub in march parts later. So I'm gonna reshoot it, and we're gonna reshoot it with better techniques. And now that I've rehearsed it so many times, it shouldn't be that hard to do it. Okay, action. Just pushes him over. But he pushed over the wrong guy. Okay, here's going on here is he's just trying to push him over. These guys really can't do a whole lot. They're basically squared and blocky because the Carta are squared and blocky. So we got this. Trying to keep him in focus, not the background. And action. Once more for triple coverage. Action. Funny is this is the 2 gay robots. Turns out Battleship's 2 new minions are flamingly gay. And this guy literally is Flame Khan, so he's flaming. And then we have Smasher Khan, who is apparently equally flaming. And the irony will be that they don't have flaming voices. They have sort of macho voices. In fact, they have macho Latin voices. Well, fake Italian voices. Ew. Here goes. Action. What are you doing? Oh no! Ah! You know what? There's something right back there, and I can see it. I can totally see what that is back there. It's probably there through all 3 of those shots. I can tell that it's part of the frickin' set. Now that is a funny blooper, but it's not what we want. Perfection or nothing else. Be German is to be perfect. Oh, Chromia, my darling. Oh, yes. I am such a butch chick. Yes, I am too. But we cannot embrace in a kiss, for we are too far apart. Clang. But I have an attachment. Ah! Ah. Oh. She was trying to give me head, but in trying to do that, she lost her head. Damn. Dude, and here's what passes for the laser prop flashlight. The Terran shouldn't be here. Well, I got it in there once. The gun won't fit back in his jaw. We know what he looks like, though. We can work. He shoots the Quintesson dead with the gun. Human machines are inferior. crush them, mangle them. Original draft, there was some oddities in here. Apparently, somehow the Unicron scene was combined so that G.I. Joe was somehow instantly on Earth, even though that's in there too. And then the mouth is mentioned in there, the mouth of Unicron, I guess. And that doesn't make sense. So apparently an earlier draft and a later draft got stuck together to create this oddity here. But we worked around it by saying that all the time that the mouth occurred, or they ran up to the mouth or whatever, they were actually on Earth with Cobra. And that Cobra came there, and that by adding that Galvatron scene in there where he says, oh, look, they've joined the party. Now what's going to happen is Cobra is going to crash into G.I. Joe, and that's going to have to be animated. Because it's just going to look like two plastic figures crashing together. Shooting Predaking's footage so that the wings are on his back. I don't think it mattered, but there they are. Okay, action. Human machines are inferior. Crush, mangle. Human machines are inferior. Crush, mangle. Human machines are inferior. Crush, mangle. This is TV station KATS, Milpitas, San Jose. And this is Transtech 3, June 12th, 2008. We're on the set of the Sandstorm scenes. Tim Cantrell won't be available for actual live shoots. So what we're going to do is shoot his scenes that he's going to later come and redub. So we're going to have him redubbed in the studio later on. That could even be done in post-production, really. But that's what we got here. So, we got Sandstorm and the Quintesson. We don't have the Sharkticons behind him. We haven't filmed them. We don't have them. So, animators want to animate where this stuff is. You can see that back there we got the Matrix and the bad guys and the good guys between them. And the Dinobots should be much bigger than Sandstorm. So yeah. So, scale's a little weird. But here it is. That was scene 59. Where I can watch the daily. On the camera. We're not going to watch it on the TV. Actually, several hours later. Did watch it. Did watch the dailies on the TV. Okay. They're good. So, we'll go on to the next scene. This is going to be the Masochistic Prime tortures the Autobots scene. Turns out we listed Mark's cards, or at least underlined Mark's card, highlighted too much. There's really only Masochistic Prime in this scene. It's not the other guys. Just Masochistic Prime. So, now we clear that up. Also, this scene is essential in the story. Because in the scene where they revive some of the dead Autobots, look, how did they die? Because all they did to get knocked over in the other scene. Crosshairs was messed up in the last time we saw him. But what happened to him? And the other ones just were messed up too. Sure Shot got shot, but maybe he, revived. This is what happened to him. Okay, so we'll lead up to the other scene. This is scene 65, Act 4 or end of Act 3, page 65. This happens to be. This actually lines up with the story. This is after Miria and the Autobots have acquired the Power Matrix. And the Autobots are still in the base, getting threatened by the bad guy. Here's the bad guy. I'm going to show each of the guys in the shot, and then show him and have his line. Okay. Then we are doomed. 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 I screwed up. The tactical guy shouldn't have said that. All that other stuff about Cybertron Earth Orbit. He should have said it. Yeah, Sandstorm should have said it.
One more time just to make sure, because we know if we don't shoot it one more time, then that take will be fucked up in some way.
Is it hard to say the lines because they're like, it's a long sentence from hell?
Well,
so.
it's a run-on sentence, but I'm just sort of trying to say it as intuitively as I can.
This will be worse than the time future Megatron found the Ark ship of the Autobots and Decepticons that were his ancestors on the planet we experimented on, the primitive Earth.
Yeah, grammatically it's mangled, but it gets the point across. The thing is, I don't want to say it too fast because there's a lot of information in that sentence.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that like it'll just come across like techno jargon gibberish. So that's why I'm saying it kind of slow. Plus, that's kind of the way he talks anyway.
The Beast Wars planet.
Yeah.
They really wanted to be obvious. They should say the Beast Wars planet.
Yeah, but he wouldn't say it that way.
No, because that was the show. They wouldn't call themselves.
Yeah, that show on TV.
Was called
That was from what this movie is an
Make fun of
adaptation.
that on the Mary Sue stories a lot.
Yeah.
Well, Star Trek, what's that?
Sometimes I feel like I'm a fictional character that was created just for the amusement of science fiction dorks. Alright, I'm going to do this take again. We're rolling. Hibachi scene. Action. Now that the power matrix has been duplicated, we could be in danger of me falling right out the fucking frame. Fuck you.
In the bum.
Fuck you in the bum hole.
Straight at the bum, just like a foot to sheep.
I have done. It's good.
Hey.
Robo
There's nothing like
speech.
shearing a sheep and then shearing the sheep.
Aye, that's why you shear them facing up a hill. It's because they push back harder. Oh.
Ew.
Alright then. Vox spy. Alright, next take. We're still rolling. Action. Fucking camera shake. Try again, still rolling. Action. Now that the power matrix has been duplicated, we could be in danger of death from all dimensions. And me cutting off my own head and filming the hibachi thing instead of the character who's talking, that's not going to work. That's way too far away. And you can see the hanger. And this fucking styrofoam is squeaking like crazy. There's just too many factors that aren't working in this. The styrofoam, for one, is loud as fuck. The camera, the camera is not moving, the character is moving, and that's the problem. Okay. Next take. Action. Now that the power matrix has been duplicated, we could be in danger of death from all fucking directions. All directions? That doesn't make any fucking sense. What, am I retarded? I'm retarded. Well, I'm Scotch. Same thing. Oh, I just ripped the Scotch. It's alright though. The director is from Scotland, so it's okay. Like if I were black and I said nigger.
Oh.
But I'm not, so I just got in trouble for saying nigger. Anyway. Next take. Severed head. Where are you? Give me head. There you go. And action. Focus. Focus, you bitch. Focus. What the fuck is wrong with you? You bitch. There we go. Action. So they're discussing their business here over lunch. And lunch is Skyfire.
Alright, Skyfire.
Several.
Several of them.
That's kind of fucked up, but that's really good.
And that's what we're continuing with that. And here is Mark's cards.
Yep, and Mark's cards about stepped into the role of Vok leader and finished scene 47.
And here is Cow Cat. I know it's too close, I can't see myself. There we go. Hello. Welcome to Trans Tech 3. Now we go over to Mark's cards.
The glamour of filmmaking.
Yeah, all this incredibly large cast of
Or cast
paid
of
characters.
like
That
2. A cast of a dozen minus 10.
and then we have like Tim, but he only wants to do the. The blast has sent us out of the human solar system and back to our original destination. The blast has sent us out of the human solar system and back to the original location. Much feedback, I don't think. Alright, this is radio station KAT TV station.
We first flub of the evening. We haven't even
TV
started.
station KAT Aspinall Peter San Jose. This is on the set of Trans Tech 2 and 3. This is Mark's cards, who is going to comment on, since we didn't do any final commentary on Trans Tech 3, little interviews, little snippets about
we
the
did
movie.
do some during production, but yeah. And I think the reason we didn't was because part 3 was done in, I want to say it was kind of in a hurry. It doesn't mean the movie was rushed, I want to hasten to add, but we were, after so many production delays, we were really in a hurry to just get the thing finished. So we made it a point to really knuckle under and rush through. That's why when you watch the dailies, if you watch the dailies of part 3, you'll find that there's not a lot of bloopers, or if we did screw up, we weren't laughing so much about it. It was more of a knuckle under and get it done kind of a operation, and I think we just forgot to do an interview. So anyway, here we are. It's quite a while after we wrapped principal photography, but we're still doing post-production, and also 2 is pretty much in the can. It just needs to be nailed down. We're finalizing the commentary this evening. Well, not finalizing it, but getting a big piece of it done. So 2 will be out shortly, as of the time of this recording.
It's amazing.
And
2009.
3 will hopefully be in the wings.
9 months later, hopefully.
And eventually, maybe, who knows, we'll do like one of those awesome boxes that just combines everything. Of course, there's so many discs.
It's like a series box. Yeah, and completely free, because, yeah.
Yes, and free of charge. I mean, how many movies or series of movies can you think of that were like almost 10 years in the making and had a sizable budget, considering it was just coming out of pocket, and yet costs nothing?
Yeah, because we can't pay it. We can't
because jail is a cold and lonely place.
We charge for pirated material and
yeah, we may have at one point been pirated productions, but we never actually pirated anything.
No, we just the idea was just that we were using existing material to make parodies, and that's what it was about.
Right. Yeah. Well, plus pirates are awesome. So.
Pirates are cool.
Yes.
Especially Predator King with a pirate mask, pirate eye patch. So,
I don't know. Any questions for Mark's cards? Here in the studio.
What was your most hilarious moment on the set? And then juxtapose what was your suckiest moment on the set?
Well,
I'll answer the same question.
I would have to say probably my favorite, if we're talking about like bloopers or outtakes, and we were talking about this earlier, we had dinner earlier and we were talking about this, was the infamous Matrix of Leadership gets dropped on the floor.
That's in part 2.
That's in part 2. Oh, you meant part 3 specifically.
Yeah, part 3. That was funny, though. Yeah,
that was great. But, well, let's see. I would have to say I enjoyed playing Sterling quite a lot.
I understand you liked Masochistic Prime as well. He was awesome.
They're probably the most fun was playing Masochistic Prime, because he has some lines in the third one that are so over the top. They're
William
brilliant.
Kendrick lines from old friend William Kendrick.
Inspired by William Kendrick, who was probably the most twisted guy that either of us knew in our high school years, anyway. Now I think we're the most twisted guys, but yeah, there's some really
awesome over the top stuff, and it was almost kind of a challenge just in terms of a performance to try and sell lines like, you know, female Autobots need to be tortured without having it be so over the top that, you know, it was too much.
I will have what's been forsaken.
And you might see that again if you watch the dailies of we're actually struggling a little bit to come up with ways to sell that so that it was awesome and not just stupid. And hopefully we succeeded. So that's probably my favorite thing about the production of the third one was playing Masochistic Prime. and of course I always enjoy doing the Texan accent thing, which
we had a lot of cowboys this year.
In every production I think we've ever been in, I do the cowboy.
We had to do the cowboy.
As to my worst, honestly, you know, I would have to say I wish I could have been on the set a little more than I was. It was difficult because I was back at San Jose State doing classes to help finalize my...
I was too, but
yeah. Kat was too. So
you had a class that interfered with the actual Thursdays.
Right, we had to work around that for like 4 months. And as a result of that, because we were in, you know, like, let's get this done mode, I wasn't able to be on the set as much as I would have liked, and I really enjoy combining the performance with the visual. I like doing the cinematography with the camera and trying to figure out ways of shooting stuff. And I really missed that, I think, in the third one. I would have liked to have been there for more of that.
And you still have more San Jose State, right?
And I still have the internship.
Because he haven't given you the internship yet.
Who knows what that's going to end up doing.
I got mine, but yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately didn't turn out to be a job, but hey, degree.
Hey,
awesome.
hey,
you're one up on me there.
Dan got his internship too. He got his San Jose City though, and he's over at KMBR now as a board operator. Yeah, the character for late nights on weekends.
Huh.
So he's not really a reporter on it or anything. He's just a board operator. He operates a soundboard, I guess. Yeah. So
There's
KO Dan from Trans is now a.
You can really abuse your
KMBR
power if
guy.
you're a soundboard operator. You can mess with stuff.
Yeah.
But
I'd love to be the soundboard operator on like O'Reilly or David Letterman and like turn off the laugh track. Or turn off like the other tracks.
Get some of those soundboards and remix what they say, you know. So like, I like big hard men. Anyway, so yeah, as far as my memories of the production of the third movie, I really enjoyed the performances. I enjoyed when I was here on the set actually doing the filming. I just wish I could have maybe been there for a little more of it because it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I think when we do Chimera, that won't be so much of an issue because I think
we will do.
We're gonna. It's gonna be.
We have started on the. We have finished the. Already finished the teaser on Chimera. And
yep. So yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna get into this and just switch the thingy around here. Switch the.
No, we'll cut that out. What?
Oh, I don't know. Classic. Little moment there.
So here we are on the set of
this is where the magic happened. We actually
did some audio commentary tonight, and
pretty much all of the filming took place in here.
Yeah, because we never had the other room back where Trans was originally filmed.
Oh yeah.
I keep touching my nose. Just down. We never had the original room back from over there because it was a Lee Dobbs room, and now it's Dan's room. So, well, sort of pseudo room. Here enough. So we don't have that other studio room. So we ended up with this one in 93 and 94. But the original Trans 2, of which Trans 3 is pretty much a remake of Trans 2 and Carta 2. And it's more of a story sort of thing. The others were more... The first one was the first couple movie stories of Trans, because it was massive. I did a bunch of episodes and seasons.
Yeah.
And then the second one was pretty much elements of a second season and third, of which Transformers the movie from '86 was thrown in there. So I had to speed it up 20 years, to make it match the movie.
Right.
So make it match.
Well, originally, according to G1, we're already living in the future because didn't they talk about like the '90s, like it was the far off future?
Yeah, well, in the '80s it was the '80s. Yeah, and then they jumped to the third season of Transformers, which, as G1 fans know, is 2005 and on. So they jumped like 20 years, and Spike has a kid now, and
I wonder how that happened.
Well, he and Carly must have got together.
Maybe.
Because Carly's in the story as the mother, so maybe it's his. Maybe it is.
Yeah, maybe it's not.
Yeah. Some fan dorks.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, Transformers. And Trans 3 is basically a retelling of the crazy Card of the Return and the other one, as well as throwing in some elements of the Final Adventure until All Are One, the Trans other seasons. The ones that we thought were really cool, we threw them back in there. Like we burned Optimus Prime and burned the Carta Master guy on a cross. And that was pretty cool. And I was thinking about that scene as I watched it earlier today and a couple of days ago. And actually, we thought it was a blasphemous scene to do that, but really it isn't. Because the Carta decide in the story that this is a false god. And he's not their god, so we're going to burn him. Which is screwed up, but so he's not God. He's a false god.
I never had a problem with that.
They're torching him. So yeah,
it would have been blasphemous if like they had literally thought he was Jesus or something. Put a crown of thorns on him or something.
That would have been a little weird, but it would have been awesome.
It would have been like a Peter Greenaway movie or something.
The twisted part of this is we have a Protestant and an atheist filming this movie series. So we have this weird sort of odd, quasi-religious, like we could have in the same movie this like deity guy gets killed thing. Ooh, like weird pseudo-Catholic iconography, and then we have this sadistic robot running around going, "Torture the females quickly!" It's like okay. Well,
I hasten to add, I don't actually endorse.
No, and we don't endorse or crucifying anybody either.
Right.
But it's kind of funny that there's like. The twisted elements are still there because you know that even if you go to church, you're still a little twisted.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, half the cast from the original First Press series.
Yeah. You can't live your life like it's a Hallmark special. Come on.
That would be ridiculous. It's like, no, it's not like Hunky Dory World.
Yeah.
It's never like Leave It to Beaver. That was stupid.
And I'm glad it's not, actually, because talk about boring.
Everything is all boo. Yeah, it's like some people are bent out of shape over certain things. But anyway,
So anyway, as far as Trans Tech 3 goes, let me throw the same question at you then.
Good and bad in Trans Tech 3?
What was your favorite and what was your least favorite?
I think the coolest scene in Trans Tech 3 is that I actually envisioned the SDF-3 and the Robotech people reaching Earth and coming home.
The actual
that was
solution.
Just so awesome. Actually taking it into the circle, the final Robotech book, and doing what they left a cliffhanger at the end of the 85 episodes of Robotech.
Mm-hmm.
The SDF-3 is missing and we don't know where it is. Basically because when they did the Robotech 3 series together, Rick Hunter wasn't even supposed to be in it. He wasn't even a character. They just made that in the American version. They just said, when they pieced the 3 series together, let's say the Expeditionary Force has Rick Hunter in it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he wasn't really at all in the series.
I'm not sure why they threw him in. Was
they should have just said, not mentioned it.
I guess because he was a popular character or something.
But he, it's like, it's not his expedition. First it was Dr. Lang or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, now they came out in 2007 with a Robotech Shadow Chronicles movie, where we actually do get to see the SDF-3 again. So we get to see them. They don't quite get back, but we get to see them. They intended to make a new one called Shadow Rising and bring the ship home. But apparently this new Robotech movie that they've got in live action thing in production.
Oh, yeah.
They're all, well, now we can't show you that. So yet again, they're stuck.
Although,
ironically, they're stuck in the Omicron sector, which I think is really eerie weird because guess where they are in this movie? The Omicron sector. Hey!
Once again, we're ahead of the curve.
We're in the Omicron sector.
On Hollywood. They should
the black hole as well. So
why they don't just hire us to come up with these ideas for them?
It's because Omicron is a cool sounding word. It doesn't mean Omega, which would be like one.
Well, yeah.
It means like Omicron, like large micron or something.
Sounds kind of like Unicron. But...
Unicron. Unicron's like, yes, he is in this movie. And the coolest scene was bringing the ship home and having him contact the guys from... Basically, I changed it up from Scott Bernard finding him, because that's what happened at the end of Robotech, to the guys in Shadow Chronicles finding him with Scott Bernard on the ship with him, which makes more sense. So Captain Grant signals him, and there he is.
Right.
And you've obviously seen the movie, so, But I thought that was the coolest scene. And second to that was Optimus Prime and the classics return to the universe.
Right.
I think the most annoying issue moment in there was probably trying to get early on to get it started and having all these scenes. There was 2 tapes of scenes where it was completely blurry. The whole thing was completely screwed. All the footage was just screwed. And you couldn't tell because the lighting was like soft because we wanted to have this more dark. We wanted Char to be like this really, really, even more charred dark place. Third story. If you make the lighting really low, guess what happens to a digital camera?
Right.
You can't see anything.
Exactly. Well, you can hear me on the outtakes constantly saying, "Damn, camera's out of focus." It's the same exact thing, the lighting.
And we did miss a few uptakes scenes that we.
Well, apparently a whole bunch of scenes had to be reshot.
Yeah, so we had fun doing this. I think Trans Tech 3. The first one was like our experimental sort of movie kind of thing. We did. It's a 2-disc, 4-hour thing.
Yeah.
The second one will be 3 discs, 5.5 hours, because we really threw everything in it.
Well,
And the third one is going to be 4 hours again. So it's a tighter story, and it actually tells the story instead of all the time warps everywhere and doing funny stuff and throwing Beast Wars in. It tries to tell the story of what happened to the Transformers at the very end of the last Great War. Mm-hmm. So if you had no Robotech in it, you'd have Trans, the original series.
Right.
There'd be no Robotech in it, or very little Robotech in it.
But we decided early on we had to have Robotech in there.
Because that's just cool.
Yeah, because it's a fanfic.
And they're G.I. Joes anyway, so if you're a G.I. Joe fan, you can just imagine, they're just G.I. Joes.
Although, story-wise, they're not supposed to be. Although the G.I. Joes are in there as G.I.
Yes,
Joe.
they are. And what's even funnier is Dana Sterling is wearing a G.I. Joe shirt when she says, "I'm free, Max, I'm back." Hi, Dad.
Maybe
she's wearing a G.I. Joe shirt. Yeah, awesome.
You know what? She's a fan of Roadblock.
But Roadblock's not interested.
No, we all know Roadblock and Shipwreck are...
they are not my type, but you really are. Because we know about G.I. Joe.
Sergeant Slaughter.
So yeah, it's more... And what's weird is when you look at all the dailies for these 3 movies, which are literally we've essentially filmed the 26 episodes of a series. If you look at the whole thing,
if you look at them as 25
series,
minutes,
like a new Transformers series with Transformers meeting Robotech. It is the ultimate Transformers Robotech crossover fanfic, and the cat is meowing.
Excellent.
And hi, Cadabra Kitty, and could be Abra though.
Yeah,
anyway,
the Cats production Cats.
The Cats, yes. The first cat production cat was Quark.
Oh yeah.
And he passed away during a production.
Original King of Queens.
Yes. These kitties are queens. They're females.
Exactly.
So.
Quark just wanted to be. So anyway, to get back to 3, you were saying earlier how you thought the third one in particular moves really well, and maybe because it's the culmination of the trilogy, if you want to look at it. Instead of as a series, as a trilogy of 3 movies.
Yeah, it's like the Lord of the Rings of Transformers.
Right, it's the one where all of the action pays off, all of the setup over the last 2 movies pays off.
And you're like, damn, that's how they did it? Wow.
Apparently succeeded in capturing a different kind of an energy, maybe, on the third one that's more kinetic, as you were saying. Any thoughts about that?
And there's definitely more energy, definitely with the pacing is a trip because you put all these things together for the energy and so forth, and literally you couldn't cut anything out of this story, and if you did, it wouldn't make a lick of sense. Literally, there is no fluff at all, unlike the new Michael Bay movies, which are all fluff and just a little bit of Transformers. You cut anything out of this, it isn't going to make a lick of sense, because all of the plot exposition is in the story and the narrative. And the robots doing what they're doing.
Right.
Kind of like the 1986 one. You cut anything out of the 86 one. They put that on TV and they made it 5 episodes long. They cut stuff out and it didn't make a lick of sense. They should have never put it on TV and put commercials in it. It just kills it.
Yeah, it was never meant to be seen in that format.
Watch it and go through it. And that is Abra on the floor. The kitty. Come here, kitty. Come here. I mean, that 4 hours to 3.5 hours of watching part of it today went by. Are you seeing me there?
Oh, yeah.
Went by today and, like, wow, this is cool. It was cool, like, the first one was, like, made the original Trans look like a kiddie story by 2 teenage superheroes, which it was. The second one was a go-motion puppet animation akin to Jim Henson and Sesame Street with a It's kind of going around. And that kind of style with the sort of like the Muppets are moving around, but they're Transformers.
Right.
The toys are moving around, go motion. It's almost catches the G1 feel, and the sets almost match in weird and garish ways, and it actually works thematically. The third one is literally, we have done it. We have made a live action animation go motion Transformers adventure. Not so much stop motion, it's more like go motion, because the characters are alive and they're like moving. So you got, I keep saying what go motion is, I'm going to explain it. Okay, you got a character, and basically you got the camera cutting off like half of them, and you got like a hand or something else grabbing his feet, and you got the guy moving around like this, or you got the camera kind of moving around him while you're moving your hand like this. And this is a technique they used on Star Trek The Next Generation. They wanted the model Enterprise to move, because it was a big model. It was like 4 feet. It was a 6 foot one. They had to move it across the studio and make it make sense. And and Kitty, I have a kitty. Yeah. And so they had to put these models in there because they didn't have CGI back then. Mm-hmm. So we're doing essentially like a step backward and saying we're going to use models again to do this. And a lot of the Generation 1 toys, they would have no articulation whatsoever. Their legs are like...
Yeah, solid plastic. Some of them you can't move the legs at all.
Bizarre. I filmed this scene where Six Shot is fighting Magnus, and in this movie it looks like they have legs and they're kicking each other and beating up each other, but they don't. Yep. It's the G1 toys. They don't move very well. I actually made it look like they do, which is really cool, without CGI. So I thought that was pretty impressive. And well, the Voltron kind of did. Now, all the later ones from Armada on, they have more bendable legs and more posability. A lot of them did in Beast Wars as well. The trouble with the Beast Wars ones, though, is they tended to fall apart.
Yeah.
The Crab Guy was... The reason the Crab Guy and the other guy in Part 2 are sitting down during that scene is we couldn't get them to stand up. They just kept going... So we just said, okay, maybe they shoot each other in the beginning and blow their legs off, so they're kind of climbing.
That's awesome.
So, so here we go.
Kitty. So one final question. We've talked about this series as though it's 10 years in the making, but if you really think about it, it's more than that, because a lot of the ideas in this series came from earlier films, earlier projects, earlier scripts that go all the way back to like junior high.
We just love Transformers completely. Right?
So do you feel like we finally did the proper culmination of all of those ideas, and we're not necessarily putting it to rest, because there could always be more. But
there could be more.
But it seems to me the atmosphere is kind of like we finally did it right after all of the other versions of this. That some of the earlier ones, the scripts were maybe they didn't make quite as much sense, or we didn't shoot them as well as this.
Yeah, well, the early ones we were essentially equivalent to the kids on YouTube that are doing their stop motion or go motion. They do it too. Mm-hmm. Transformer stuff. On their dresser or their toy shelf or their bed, going like, we got more elaborate than that. We built sets, and we put them in there, thanks to mainly our balsa wood supplier over at Sheldon's Hobbies, and we had to buy them, our supplier, which is the hobby shop. Also, a lot of the places that had cardboard, Walmart and other places like that. Some places which are out of business now.
Yeah, actually.
We'd like to do a. Probably also I was thinking about it, doing a video run around the valley looking at the things in the valley that inspired various designs in the movie. The trouble with that, though, is that we don't have the standing sets anymore. So it's kind of hard to show like a clip of, say, Strawberg's lair from Part 1 and say this lair is what the inspiration for. I suppose what I could do is draw up the storyboards again and say this storyboard is what was done in Part 1 for Simultech or whatever, and here is a SanDisk. It's now SanDisk. It was Qualcomm, and that's what the building kind of looks like.
Although I think we took plenty of behind-the-scenes footage during the production of all three. There should be plenty of dailies and outtakes that show the whole set.
Yeah, so we could get away with that actually. It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I think it would. Get like a shot of the Coliseum. Wasn't that one of the...
the Shark Stadium was the inspiration for the... supposed to be the Oakland Coliseum, but it was Shark Stadium.
Yeah, well, we did actually go to Oakland, fortunately. Cause it's kind of
and to even make it even more bizarre, the walls were although it's a drawing in the movie because we couldn't build the set, and there was like pieces of it in there, pieces of other things in there. The Great Mall parking lot was actually the inspiration for a lot of the battle stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because we discovered that if we actually shot a Transformers movie live, this is long before Michael Bay. This is 2000. Scouting scenes in 2000. Actually, as far back as 96, we were walking around San Jose going, what would look cool in a live-action Transformers movie? Or in our trans thing that we're making. We have the script already written at that point, by 98, for the first one. Parts in First Street and stuff were all, well, they had all this light rail stuff down here. The light rail the Transformer wouldn't be able to walk. He'd be hitting the light rail stuff. So we're all like, it's got to be off the light rail. It's got to be off First Street. It's got to be on Market or something. It's got to be over on whatever. And then we go to Milpitas and we say a little bit of Main Street in there. Maybe we'll throw in a little bit of Great Mall or Mission College or something over by the parking lot. Clearly the Galaxy Event Center thing / whatever was a Mercado Theater. I mean, it looked like it. Except now it's a different color, but yeah. Yeah. And there were several buildings up and down. In fact, what's cool is that the Metro where I had my internship was over at it's a little newspaper down off of, I think they're on 2nd Street in Market or something. And they're down on 2nd Street by Original Joe's. And that street, with all the weirdly colored buildings and everything, is the street from the first opening street scene in Transtech. And it still looks like it. Even though there's a few new buildings built, it still looks like that street. I do have some pictures of that somewhere. It's still trippy. It's like, this is the street that at 2nd Street that I walked down and said, this brick thing over here. It was like you go further down 2nd Street, there was like a bridal store. That became Moe's Bridal or something. It's gone now. But and like a bunch of other stuff. There was a Lido nightclub that they wouldn't be flattered, so I changed the name to something else. They would be all, this is too straight. Our nightclub is not straight. They have a big rainbow in their logo, and you don't want to go in there if you're a straight man, unless you're swing both ways or what. But
maybe the music is good.
But it was a pretty sleazy side of town, though. You probably would end up with some hideous disease.
Well, only if you did certain things.
But so I never went. But San Jose Alive kind of walked in, kind of walked out. But anyway, so Kinetic Energy and Transtech 3.
Yeah. So
rambling on here.
So ultimately, we're, as you can tell, both very proud of this.
And it's not that we're over biased or anything. It is.
Well, we are, but
we are, but yeah, it's our stuff and our baby. And
but I mean, just look at the stats. I mean, 10 years plus, as far as I'm concerned, like I said, basically since junior high in the making. But the actual shooting, almost 10 years.
And it's not a live action Transformers; it's a Go Motion puppet Transformer, which is still kind of cool because you can do the voices and everything. It's easier than getting, and we don't yet have that technology.
Wow.
And also, even though Tim hasn't been in this yet, we're trying to get him to do some voiceovers for Part 3, where he can play like one or two characters really quick and record his lines because he doesn't have a lot of time.
Just to have his name in the credits, if nothing else.
And he can have more lines in Chimera. And now it is post-production, but I'm having trouble getting him. But we did include, with his permission, some of his ideas for the Space Bridge pilot, because we ran into a snag with time span went by, like the 10 years,
Yeah. And
originally the story, as I said on some of the other ones, was supposed to be right alongside Car Robot, which was 2001, 2002. But they launched this new show called Armada, which was followed by 2 more. So, a totally different universe, totally different things going on, but lots of new toys.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the story, it would have been silly to have the cool Car Robots characters in there, because they're out of date by like 8 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all like, well, they were 5 years when we were filming, 6 years. So Tim and I were all like, well, I suppose we could take some of the Armada and Car Robot guys and throw them in there, just use them and say they're updated Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all like, And he's all talking about having all the Primes and Megatrons show up and battle each other and whatnot. Do each other. Ooh, no, battle each other, and well, maybe do each other too. I don't know.
Well, some of the outtakes, I don't know.
but I had a lot of the Primes and Megatrons, and I said that's originally he just wanted all the Primes to show up because he thought it'd be cool to have the heroic Optimus Prime show up. And I said, well, you gotta have Megatron too because you gotta have good and evil like fighting each other because that's cooler.
Right.
And the Till-All-One idea is in there. But that was in there from the beginning. I told him we did something like this in the 80s and in the early 90s with the Till-All-One script that you and I wrote. Where the different Primes from the generation showed up, different Megatrons, and they have to team together to stop one of the Megatrons from destroying the universe. It's the same story as Till-All-One. And she just keeps rehashing it and telling me over and over again. So I'm all, okay, at the end of the story, all the Armada Primes and Energon Primes show up. Megatron kills one of them. And then the other Prime goes, are you satisfied? Now you've killed one of me. Okay, and then they have the other Primes go up and they say, Vector Sigma breaks in, because he's like the all-spark cube, all-knowing spaceship thing. Michael Bay got it wrong. It's not called the all-spark, it's called Vector Sigma.
Yeah.
He just had been paying attention. I don't think he was, though. Yeah. Anyway, it's Vector Sigma. It was only called the all-spark in the comic books. That tells you how geeky we are that we know all that stuff. And we put all that together. And and even Sheila LaBeouf said, all-spark is stupid. But yeah, so they have the Matrix too, and and you have Armada Unicron in there too, just thrown in there because he's out of another dimension. So we have Unicron in our story. That's way cool. So it's basically the ending of the story is basically a nod to Armada and Cybertron and Energon. We have a lot of them in there, and the classic Transformers. There was a classic line that came out in which the Transformers people said, let's make a bunch of them that are actually articulated, their legs bend, and they look like G1, but they're not really, they're an update. So I have a bunch of those, so I put them in the end. And that's some of the Primes, and they end up the classic ones at the very end, which is very cool. Since you've already seen it, you know, you're watching the commentary. And those Primes and Megatron show up at the end of the story, so Tim would now be creative consultant for coming up with the ending of the movie. Even though he wasn't on the set, he technically put all the Primes and Megatrons together. They do the Till-All-One thing. At the behest of Vector Sigma, because you figure Megatron wouldn't do it on his own, but if a big, powerful, godlike computer entity was telling him, you have to do this, he probably would do it.
Well, eventually he'd probably try and betray it and take it over.
Try to betray it, yeah.
And it probably wouldn't work, because if you look at Megatron, like, for an evil genius leader, he screws up an awful lot.
Yeah, so that's
it. But anyway, so yeah,
we're good on
Transtech 3.
Transtech 3, coming in. We estimate that the animation for this will be a lot quicker.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of 400 scenes, that includes 200 stills on part 2, this has about 50 scenes, and that's including stills.
They're pretty elaborate, but still.
Going to be a lot easier. I think the burning of Prime and the burning of the guy, the deity dude, that's going to be the hardest. And the rest of it is just laser blasts and planets. And some ships. Really easy.
Right.
So we're hoping 9 months. Next summer, Transtech 3 will blaze onto the screen.
Awesome.
And you'll go, yes, finally at long last. And yes, you get it free. Massive box set. Yep. And we will be re-releasing Transtech 1. Of course, it won't be the 2009 edition at that point. It'll be 2010.
Right.
We didn't get the 2009 edition out. I don't think it'll be coming out this year. But because we're doing this.
Too much other stuff to do.
And Chimera will begin production as well, the Star Trek story, which has been in limbo for years, but finally doing it.
It will finally actually happen. In fact, it's already begun.
It has begun, and it's going to be awesome, so forward to that. And we're going to go on to the anime before it gets too late.
Yep.
Kitty.